And this one's a two-player card combat game where players are going to be fighting against each other using all sorts of different characters that might look familiar to you from different video games. This is a new version of a game that was released years ago, and there's been multiple expansions and new mechanisms introduced, but this new version is going to be consolidating all of that into a single package with a better storage solution, upgraded art and components, and a bunch of new heroes added to the game. And this one is also my own personal pick of the week because the more I looked into this one, the more I was interested in adding this one to my collection, and all the different reviews and opinions I saw on this one were overwhelmingly positive, so I think this is a game that has stood the test of time, has a really fun theme, and the gameplay to back it up, and I think this is a game that's really easy to teach and play, but it's also introducing some unique and interesting mechanisms that I think are going to give you a lot of depth of decision here. But this is a game where players are going to be starting with a deck of different hero cards, but you're always going to be drawing 5 at the beginning of the game, and then each of these cards are double-sided, meaning that you can flip them over to turn them into a leader, and every single card can be a leader. But from those first 5 cards that you draw, you're going to be choosing one of those as your leader, putting them in the center of your tableau. The leader normally does have some more impressive stats and also an ability that will affect your gameplay overall, and you are also trying to be the first to defeat your opponent's leader in order to win the game. The catch here is that you and your opponent are also going to have a ton of other hero cards that you're going to be using in a variety of ways, synergizing them with each other as well as your leader in order to try and defeat your opponent. You might have also noticed that each of these hero cards have 4 different actions that you could possibly use, and this is the thing that makes this game a lot different than almost any other game out there, because although multi-use cards is not a new thing, the thing that makes this one unique is the action that you get access to depends on how you play that card. As I briefly implied, each player is going to be building up their own tableau, and you're going to have these sheets to help you keep track of which cards you have where, but the cards that you place in the front row here, colored in red, are going to be unlocking that hero's red action, which is at the top of their card. If you assign them to the green row in the middle, then of course it's going to be unlocking that green action, and the same with the blue row in the back. If you assign them there, then you're going to be gaining access to their blue action. But there is also this purple action here as well, and that action comes into play if you choose to just play that card directly from your hand in order to perform that purple ability. This means that not only do you have a ton of different options and implications depending on if and where you want to play that card into your tableau, but you can also just choose not to ever play that card into your tableau and use it for its ability by just spending it directly from your hand. This creates a nearly endless amount of possibilities and permutations anytime that you play this game, which I'm sure will offer a ton of opportunities for being really clever with the way that you play these cards, and coming up with really fun and unique ways of chaining different cards together and taking advantage of the abilities that work best for you in that moment. But like I said, at the beginning of the game, you're going to be choosing one of your hero cards to lock in as your leader, and then the game just plays over a series of rounds, alternating starting player, with players just taking turns performing 2 actions on their turn. Every round you're going to have 3 turns, which means that you have 6 actions total, but the first 2 actions you take are going to be relative to the first row, and the second 2 actions you take are going to be relative to that second row, then your last 2 actions are going to be relative to that third row. The actions that you're able to take could be to add a card to the respective row or to attack with a card in that row, and if it's ranged, it can hit any location on your opponent's tableau. Otherwise, it's going to be only able to hit the frontmost characters. You can also use an action to rearrange the cards in your tableau, draw a new card into your hand, or play a card directly from your hand for its special ability. One other thing to note is that if any of your cards are defeated, they actually remain in your tableau, and you have to perform an action in order to remove that corpse from your tableau and make room for a new card. The game continues like this until one of the players is able to defeat their opponent's leader card, and the first player to do that wins the game. And if this one sounds interesting to you, you can go ahead and check it out, and I will have it linked down below. And of course, you can follow along to get notified once this one launches.